welcome back to another video here on Forza Horizon 4 to test out this week's new vehicle here in the game, which is the Mercedes-AMG E63. As you can see here, 50% completion prize for the Horizon winter season. So, unfortunately, we are going to have to test it out in the snow, which is a little bit of a shame. But anyway, if you missed last week's car, it was the Toyota Supra, so that would have gone up a week ago today if you want to look out for that video. And also a couple of days ago I did first look at the Gunther Works Porsche. Actually, it might have been yesterday, but anyway, there's a video on that car as well if you want to take a look. And as always, there will be a video next week on next week's car, which in this case is the Formula Drift Ferrari 599, which I will be taking for a quick run up and down the long drift zone in Fortune Island. But anyway, it's Mercedes-AMG E63S today, so let's jump straight in and find it. It would have been slightly cooler if it had been the estate, the wagon, whatever you want to call it, version of it, but it's the same car, so still incredibly fast, super saloon. And yeah, let's see what it's like. It is the 2018 model, so I was going to say last year's, that's 2 years ago now. But yeah, big, powerful. I think, I'm not 100% sure if it's still a V8 or not. I know a lot of them aren't. No, don't do that, sort by manufacturer. So it is, well, basically it's the four-door of the C63, isn't it? The E63, so kind of, almost. But it's the biggest, most practical Mercedes we've got, apart from the 2018 GT 4-door, but it's still not as... Anyway, it's basically a new version of this thing over here, which I think that generation looks better, to be honest. And they actually called it Mercedes-Benz, and then AMG was the performance version, not having their own company. But anyway, this is the car, so we'll test it out as standard, and then go to the garage and see what upgrades and customization is available. So, let's see what it is like standard, so let's go, I guess. Is this all-wheel drive? It feels all-wheel drive. Yes, it is. Right, let's carry on. Very fast, 0 to 60, and then obviously in here, your luxury-looking interior. It looks almost more like an S-Class now. There's so much in these E-Classes. I don't know who would possibly need an S-Class. But yeah, there's a big, noisy front-engine Mercedes saloon. That's kind of what you expect. It's very fast. Yeah, in real life it'd be very comfortable. Obviously you don't notice that in the game, but you do notice it's a little bit heavy in the game. Wants to understeer a bit, but it is a big four-door car, so I guess that makes sense. You'd have to try it out not in winter to make the most of it. They have at least put the correct car in winter this time. Normally they put an entirely unsuitable car. I mean, obviously we'd want nothing in winter, but they've put the all-wheel drive saloon in winter rather than a Formula Drift car or a Supra, which is what the other cars we were given, of course. But yeah, let's go to a house and see what we can do in terms of upgrades and customization. I'll have a quick look through the engine swaps and stuff, see what is available, but I normally don't do anything like that. I normally do quite a simple, basic build, just change the colour, bring the wheels out a bit, make it kind of like a nice road version of the car, but don't necessarily build it for anything, because obviously if you wanted to use it, you'd build it to the top of a class, which I never seem to do. It is already S1, so... but only just S1, so you'd have to build it to S1 or S2 if you actually wanted to use it for something. Right, so engine swaps. We've got the stock engine, we've got a 5.2 litre V10, 6.5 litre V12, and a V12 from the Mercedes CLK GTR. Nice how it actually tells you which car that's from. If only they did that on all of the engines like they used to back in the older Horizon games. Okay, so you could actually, if you wanted to, bring it down to A-Class, but it would be entirely undrivable. Because that would mean making it rear-wheel drive. What have we got? Ooh, hang on. We've got a Brabus option, which makes it a bit more aggressive and isn't hideous like the Forza bits. Let's go with that. Oh, we've got a Brabus wing, which is actually smaller than the standard wing. I prefer the standard one. And we've got a Brabus rear bumper. I like the brake light and the bumper, but I don't think I prefer the exhausts. But as we've gone with the Brabus on the front, I guess we should go with that on the back as well. Probably means we should really add some more power, because the Brabus version would be more powerful. Is it 800 horsepower, the Brabus, or something ridiculous? Anyway, we'll do our race tyres and tyre width, bring the track width out as well, make it have lots of lovely grip as we are in the winter season. Actually, I could have put some snow tyres on, but we're not going to be going off-road, so we'll leave that. I'll do all the gearbox bits, I always go with those. And then we'll see what else we can do. Oh, it is a V8. There we go, on the side there. Bi-turbo though, not. Alright, we'll put race springs on, bring it nice and low. Do these bits. We're going to end up at the top of S1 at this rate. I won't do that, that ruins it. I won't do weight reduction as well. So, how much power do we actually have at the moment? 600 horsepower. Right, let's try. If we put on... Oh, we've only got race bits. I was going to say, let's try putting the sports bits on, but let's make it have lots of power. I know I don't usually do all these upgrades, but as we've got... I might not do the turbos, because that'll add a stupid amount of power. But as we've got the Brabus version, effectively, we might as well... I mean, really, I should have done a bit of research into the Brabus to see how much power it actually runs, because we're at 930 in this one. I think it's called a Brabus 800 or something. There might be more than one version, I don't know. The other thing we should do, as this is a Brabus, is put some Brabus wheels on it, which I think are in this section. There we go. We've got those ones and those ones. I mean, they're hideous, but I actually prefer those, but I think those are more typical Brabus, so let's put those on as we're doing this as a sort of build. They are usually entirely black, aren't they? As their launch colours anyway, so we might go with that as well. Maybe not. Although maybe dark car and against the white snow might be quite cool. But I think we'll go with something a bit different from that. I will have a look at what the community has created before we go and throw our own stuff on. So we've got an AMG one, we've got a Brabus one, Brabus white. What else have we got? What does this one look like? Bit different to all the others in red rather than a sort of greyish colour. Might be slightly brighter and a bit nicer to look at. Right, let's have a look. See, it says it's a Brabus one, but it's not. It's an AMG. It's got the AMG stripe, which is kind of cool, I guess, but I do quite like that. What I will do, and I'm spending far too long looking at this, I will see what manufacturer colours there are, because I normally do that. I normally just end up putting those on, but let's have a look before we settle for the red community paint. Because, I mean, we've already got that colour, it's just not got the AMG bits on it. I mean, we could go with an entirely black car, but I feel like that's a bit too dark. What is Group 2, just out of interest, actually? Oh, it's like the... oh, part of the roof. That middle bit is, of course, the sunroof. Is that carbon? I mean, we could make that carbon. What about the wheels? What is Group 1 and 2 on these? I mean, that's kind of cool. But I think I'm just going to go with some black wheels. Nice metallic red, black wheels. I think that looks quite smart. Let's take it out and see what it's like now that it's got, what did I say, 930 horsepower. Which is kind of your normal Brabus amount. And I think, just because there's an insane amount of power and we're not going to have any grip anyway, I think we should head over to the lake and run down the drag strip. Not racing against anybody, just... Actually, maybe I should set up a drag race and we'll actually get the time. But no, I think I'll just head over to the lake and run down the drag strip. Just because we're not going to have any grip anyway, we might as well go on the ice. I mean, 930 horsepower on a frozen over lake, what could possibly go wrong? Ah, of course it's going to put me over here, isn't it? That is such a nice colour, look at that. Please don't with that. More interesting than the greys and blacks you usually see these big saloons in. Right, where is the start line? Right. I was going to say next time it goes green, but it's already green. It's going to take a while, isn't it, to reset? Oh no, hang on. It might take a while. Oh no, here we go. It'd be nice if that ice flats drag strip setup would go away. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Well, there was me saying 930 horsepower would be horrible on the ice, forgetting that it's all-wheel drive. So it actually doesn't make any difference, it's going to fly down here. I mean, we're not going to stop now that we've got to the end, but I think we should do a proper drag race down. Let's see what cars it puts us up against. Obviously, you never know if they're going to be modified or not, with it being Forza, but... I feel like we should see what we can beat. It's a shame you can't set the other cars to all be supercar class or something, but not apply those rules to yourself. That is a shame. I'm really not sure if I like these wheels. And they are a bit... they're kind of older. No, I don't want super saloons. I want... have I got an anything goes? Sure. Let's do that. And then... yeah, see how that goes. But yeah, I do like this car actually. It's a bit mad, but it would be even more mad if it was rear-wheel drive. It's true. Mad powerful. Okay, of course we've got a modified TT in there. I was hoping it was going to put us up against some supercars, not a van and some Ford Focuses. Okay, well that was kind of disappointing. So it'd be nice to be able to put it up against some stock supercars. Anyway, I think that's it's fast, but it's hard to like compare it to anything when it puts you up against something that's heavily modified instead of stock. But anyway, I think as one final thing we should fast travel over here and see what speed we can get it to. Obviously it's not going to break any records in Forza, but for the speed of a saloon car it's going to be pretty good, I think. I mean, we have got 900 horsepower. Oh, there we go, look, Brabus 800. I was right. So it should have 800 horsepower, I think. But anyway, we've modified it up to 930 now, so I think it was about 930. So let's go. Jump the roundabout onto this side of the road. And away. That is loud in the tunnel. There's the 200 mark. .230. Oh, the game's glitching a little bit. Can we get 240? Yeah, easy. 240. 243. I wasn't expecting it to be quite that fast. I mean, it does have 930 horsepower, but it also weighs almost as much as a house. I mean, it's not like a Rolls-Royce or Bentley in terms of weight. They weigh more like a castle, but it's a heavy car. But it does have a lot of power, so... Anyway, there we go. Incredibly fast super saloon that you can put a Brabus kit on and put 900 horsepower in. Probably more if you did an engine swap, but I like to keep my cars with their standard engine, do sort of believable modifications almost. I mean, the Brabus version's 800 horsepower, so giving it another 130 isn't well, it's already unreasonable modification, having 800 horsepower, but it's not unreasonable to imagine it with 930. But there we go. That is the Mercedes E63 AMG, or the Brabus 930, or whatever this thing I've built is by now, with some interesting wheels, which I might just leave on just because it's kind of our only chance to use the Brabus wheels on a proper Brabus. Please don't drive into me, BMW. Please don't drive into me, BMW. But anyway, that is going to do it for a first look at the Mercedes Brabus 800 930 AMG E63S. The Mercedes-AMG E63S that we've converted into a Brabus 800 plus a bit more power. Anyway, that is all for this video. I will be back same time next week to test out something which is even madder than this, which is of course the Formula Drift Ferrari 599, because what else would you turn into a Formula Drift car? So we will take that to Fortune Island up the massive drift zone. But yeah, that is going to be all for a first look at the Mercedes-AMG E63S here in Forza Horizon 4. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll be back with the next video very soon.